Mr. Chairman. Thank you to each of you for getting that testimony in and for being here today. We appreciate it and appreciate the opportunity to visit with you. Mr. Isaacman, I was so pleased to hear you talk about nuclear propulsion. We have Oak Ridge National Labs. We have Arnold Air, which is the only place you can do hypersonic testing. And of course, Huntsville and Marshall Spaceflight is very close to our Tennessee border. We have a lot of Tennesseans that are there. So pleased to hear you put some emphasis on that. We agree with you that emphasis needs to be placed there. But I want you to just give me a synopsis of what you think is the most important area of competition as we look at what is happening with China, with Russia, with great power competition, what North Korea and Iran are doing.
Senator, thank you very much for the question. For starters, competition can work really well. I think competition from a commercial perspective is doing great. We've gone from a world where at one point in time the nation had a dependency on one launch provider and foreign rocket technology. Now we have a very mature commercial industry with several providers able to help us accelerate mass and people and astronauts into orbit. Well, competition works well on the global stage as well, ma'am, so long as we don't lose. And right now, I mean, that couldn't be more important in the ultimate high ground of space. I mean, that is a critically important domain. NASA will continue to press out, lead the way in that ultimate high ground, but we're going to need our partners in the Department of Defense, the Space Force. We're going to need to be collaborating and making sure they're watching out for us.
Ms. Trusty, welcome, and I'm so pleased to see so many of your family members here to support you, and to all of the, I guess it's nieces and nephews that are here.
That's right, and siblings and friends.
Well, just know she's really smart, and she's working hard. Okay, we talked a little bit about spectrum, and as you know, it concerns me that 60% of our mid-band spectrum is held by federal agencies. Much of that is sitting fallow, is not being used. We cannot afford that. We're commercializing only 5% of that. So talk to me about the importance of NTIA conducting an inventory, the importance of the FCC supporting an inventory, the importance of Congress restoring the ability to have spectrum auction authority.
Thank you, Senator, for this question.
Sure.
So I'll start kind of from the first part about restoring auction authority. As I mentioned previously, I think this is incredibly important to our economic and national security. I think auction authority serves as a catalyst to investment and innovation, not just for broadband deployment across this country, but for emerging technologies and applications that will allow us to be a global leader in technological innovation. As far as supporting an inventory, I think an inventory could be good. It tells us what spectrum is being used and how. As you know, there may be some things that are classified or SAP'd and they won't be available to the public, but certainly members of the committee could have access to that information to make more informed decisions about spectrum management. But I think we do need to have a full view of what's available, what's being used, so that we can properly put spectrum to its highest and best use for economical.
And maybe even share some of that spectrum.
Potentially, as the studies indicate. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Talk to me a little bit about USF. I know Senator Fisher and Senator Klobuchar asked you about that. And I think USF has outlived its usefulness and needs to be replaced with something different. We'll see what the court has to say about it. So articulate reforms if they say you can keep USF, and replacement if they say you cannot.
Sure, Senator, I appreciate this question. So universal service is the cornerstone of the FCC's mission. It's a part of the Communications Act to advance and preserve universal service generally as a concept.
I just want to know reforms. Yeah.
Yes, Senator. So there could be distribution reforms or contribution reforms, depending on what the facts tell us. I think there's an opportunity to have performance metrics for each of the programs to understand what the efficacy is of each of those programs in addressing the needs. There could be better oversight over eligibility requirements. There could also be better oversight over participating providers' compliance with those programs to ensure that those dollars are being targeted to those who need them.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm going to send you one question on payola.
Yes, ma'am.
Because that is so important to our artists there in Tennessee. And to each of you, all the children deserve ice cream. They've been awesome today.
Thank you, Senator.
I would ask Senator Blackburn, is the ice cream limited to the children?
Senator Cruz, you showed up on time today, so you too deserve ice cream. I will be certain that at lunch I serve you ice cream.
I will take it. Senator